Edition of High Prime. Hello televiewers, you're welcome to High Prime. For presentation, I am Princess Alice Ikomilikie. First on our agenda, the Limbe Port Authority, being one of the main entry and exit points of Cameroon, was graced over the weekend by the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism for an evaluation mission for the promotion of the two official languages in Cameroon. Let's get details more on the mission in the upcoming report.
The National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism have carried out an evaluation mission on the implementation of national policy on the promotion of the official languages to the Limbe Port Authority. The evaluation mission falls in line with the recommendations taken during the second biannual session of December 17, 2023. The team, led by Honorable Justice Benjamin Itoa, was able to evaluate the level of national policy on the promotion of official languages, as well as to raise awareness among the staff of the institution, which serves as Cameroon entry and exit points. Hence, it is important to effectively promote the use of the two official languages.
They are expected to promote bilingualism by making an effort themselves to be bilingual, and for us to have people of diverse bilingual cultures, like English and French, to serve in the various positions. And here in the Port Authority in Limbe, we count the Idenau Port, we count the Limbe Port, and we count the Tiku Port. We expect that those of the Port Authority who are posted to serve in these places should at least master some English and some French, so that they can receive and other languages. Why not? I mean, they could be multilingual people. And
on his part, while welcoming the National Commission team, the director of the Limbe Port Authority described the institution as a reference point due to its rich cultural background through which they derive their strength to achieve their mission.
The visit is very important because as at March 2022, when the transitional administration was put in place, we have been practicing not only speaking both languages, but we have been imposing to our frontline staffs the importance of the two languages. And we have gone even further by making it possible that in all our frontier posts, that is from Idenau, Boya, and Tiku, you will always have two colleagues. If we have two colleagues, there will be one who speaks English very fluently and the other who speaks English. If you have four of them, you have a situation where two speak English, two speak French. So it's not only about speaking, but we are trying to practice it by living together and working together.
It is worth noting that the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism was put in place in 2019 as one of the major recommendations on the backdrop of the Anglophone crisis in promoting the use of the two official languages in Cameroon.
The summer holidays in Cameroon is mostly characterized by holiday makers who are predominantly pupils and students engaging in income-generating activities. In the town of Boya, southwest region of Cameroon, has written a remarkable increase in the phenomenon of students selling in the streets. Our reporter Sonny Tangoni with the details.
These are the voices you now hear in the streets and market in the town of Boya. With pupils and students in their long-term holidays, some have decided to occupy themselves with the hawking business to be able to make some cash before the end of the third-term holidays. Seen on the streets carrying food items like boiled groundnut, oranges, pineapples, and a host of other products, one can say that the smile on some of them their faces while selling is what cannot go unnoticed. To others, adding new skills is something to do, as some of them have engaged themselves in painting classes to perfect this skill. However, it should be echoed that underage hawking is what will not be encouraged, as many of these students are carrying out this activity underage, terming it as child labor. As the third term holidays continues to go on smoothly, guardians and parents are cautioned on the time frame in which these pupils and students are supposed to come back after a long day, so as to avoid issues of kidnappings.
Minister Jules Durand-Dongo of Forestry and Wildlife has wrapped up the annual reports for the Steering Committee of the Program for Sustainable Management and Natural Resources PS Seminar Southwest Region. The conclave took place over the weekend in Limbe. Details in the upcoming reports.
The Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife is having her annual steering committee meeting of the Program for Sustainable Management of Natural Resources, PS Seminar Southwest Region Phase 5.
Steering committee of the PS Seminar, as you may know, the Program of Sustainable Management of Natural Resources, Southwest Boya. This is a flagship program in MFOR. Considering its duration, it has been launched in 26, today 2024. It means that we have been running it for 18 years already.
The MFOR flagship program that is now in her 18 years, Minister Jules Durand-Dongo outlined the potentials for greater development.
In terms of funding, our partners, the Federal Republic of Germany, has disbursed 52 million euros, which is a very huge amount of money. In terms of efficiency, it's a program which is really has a strong impact on our local communities, since it helped to improve the living conditions of the population. So we help people, we open roads, build some schools, and make water available, and so many other.
The different attendees and some benefiting communities who are benefiting from the 52 million euros, with the Federal Republic of Germany being its funder, outline the different fruits invested.
That my community happened to be one of the villages that make up the West Coast cluster. The particular community has been benefiting enormously. That's the main reason when they call for meetings, I make sure I'm always present to show our own participation. Because since we came into partnership, there are a lot of things that they have done for my community, especially for extension of water. They built us a catchment and the reservoir tank that was. The project was worth to about 80 million francs that the community benefited. They have been carrying other projects like giving scholarship to children, helping the old people in the community. In fact, there are a lot of things I cannot even really remember to mention here, but I want to say that they are doing.
At the dawn of the annual steering committee meeting, the different stakeholders were unanimous for greater participation and active contributions.
From sustainable development to this sad page where 5 persons have been recorded dead as a result of a brake failure from a truck transporting cement from Douala to Limbe. The said incident occurred at the Limbe Mai 2 Hill with at least 12 persons injured. The corpses of the victims have been deposited at the Limbe Regional Hospital mortuary, while those injured are currently receiving treatment. Larry Kevin Detengene has details of that report.
It was a black Sunday for the people in Limbe after a truck transporting cement from Douala failed brakes upon the Maito Hill, losing her balance before crashing into several other vehicles along the way. The accident that resulted to the casualty of 6 individuals and 12 others who sustained severe injuries. The damage caused by this accident is quite hectic. The corpses of the 5 persons were taken to the Limbe Regional Hospital mortuary, while the injured victims were equally under medical surveillance at the said health facility. With the state of affairs, local authorities in the town are calling for vigilance and responsible driving from both commuters and drivers using the stretch of road.
You are watching High Prime, and we are broadcasting live from our headquarters here at Tar Malingo. Still on road accidents, following the ghastly road accidents at the Chancliffe in the West region involving one of the buses of Mondia Express Travel Agency last June 25, 2024, the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Ngale, has slammed a 1-month suspension on the agency, while the driver received a 1-year ban. Our reporter Larry Kevin Etengene still on that report.
Following the ghastly road accident involving Mondia Express of last June 25, 2024 at the Chancliffe in the West region, where some 6 persons died and some 22 others sustained injuries, the Cameroonian Minister of Transport Jean-Ernest Ngale Bibihi has just passed a 1-month ban on the bus service while dishing out a 1-year ban on the said driver involved in the road accident as stranded passengers are express outburst.
The only agency that will assist you for journey. Most people will go follow fights and go follow up things. We're so disturbed. Don't know who's our start. Because for start for Komoya, go now right for Boya. Boya, you want to reach, don't already be late. So in fact, it's a total taboo.
Wait the vexing this morning. I say we don't wake up this morning time for travel from Kumba to Douala. We canceling a different thing. People they be stranded, place on be stranded, workers then with the customer the way we travel all together. It be very active. We say a very big company like this one, a very big traveling agency like this one. When I eat is so way for here for Southwest, they put them down like this, so they think they worry with.
The said passengers who came to the Mondia agency with their luggages were stranded upon receiving the ban information.
Mondia this morning, discover say buses are not the go. When some sister we want go where I carry bring up. So I can't say unfortunately buses are not the go. So I want to ask and they said they all suspended for 1 month. So I be very devastated. They think don't over trouble me because Mondia our main agency for the Kuma where the transport we go far and near. So they think don't over disturb me this morning.
With buses parked at the Kumba Commercial Avenue agency of the said agency, stranded passengers of Mondia call on the government to have a U-turn on her decision.
To see what we can do, because I myself am staying in Yaoundé. I've been in Yaoundé for more than 13 years now. I came here, I traveled Thursday. I traveled throughout the night to reach Kumba. So if the government is trying to suspend Mondia, I don't know the agency that, because it's only Mondia that is the only agency in Kumba that is helping us. So if the government wants to suspend Mondia, we don't know how we can do. We will suffer. So I'm pleading that the government should do something.
The bus service of Mondia Express, who is a stranger to such a deadly accident phenomenon in Cameroon, has been one of the most trusted traveling agency in Kumba and the Southwest region, as more people are calling on the Minister of Transport to reconsider her ban.
We now navigate out of Cameroon to our neighboring Nigeria, where at least 19 persons are allegedly killed and others injured as a result of a suicide bomb attack that took place over the weekend in Nigeria's northeast region in a locality called Guza. High TV's Daniel Ikomi paints a picture of that event.
After years of relative calm experience in Nigeria, suicide bombers are back on the street in the eastern part of the country. These are their latest victims. Friends and relatives who gathered to celebrate a marriage in the town of Guza were attacked by one of the bombers.
It happened at around 3 p.m. at the wedding venue that we were sitting in, when a lady came in holding 2 children's hands, and then we had the explosion.
While the survivors struggled to bury their loved ones, another attack struck again.
I can't just imagine the pain of losing 5 people at a time. So this is something I can actually not forget, because this has taken me back to memory lane of 2014 when Guza was raided by this terrorist group.
Dozens of persons have been wounded on the Guza attack severely. At the Maiduguri hospital, where some of the victims were taken to, health workers tried to save who they can.
I have nothing to say. My son is unconscious. I pray that God grants them all a speedy recovery. And to the perpetrators of this heinous act, may God guide them to the right path.
So far, no one has claimed responsibility for the attack, but security forces and analysts are suspecting the Islamic group Boko Haram. The return of suicide bombers is now causing a great concern.
See, there's going to be so much fear in people and movements in Guza. Not only in Guza, even the surroundings.
Boko Haram has for years now repeatedly using young females to carry out attacks. The 14 years violence has killed more than 40,000 people and displaced 2 million people in Nigeria's northern eastern region of the country.
We end this newscast with this humanitarian story where the spokesperson of the United Nations Secretary General, Stephen Dujarric, has called on member states to assist in the providing of humanitarian aid to the population affected by crisis in the region. He made the call over the weekend, as you tell us, Daniel Ikomi Boya.
6.3 million people in Burkina Faso are experiencing unprecedented humanitarian crisis in the country. The lack of means to solve this issue prompted the United Nations to call on member states to assist in providing funding to help salvage the crisis.
Burkina Faso, our humanitarian colleagues say that the country is facing unprecedented humanitarian crisis with 6.3 million people in need of humanitarian support and protection. We, along with our partners, are supporting the government's efforts to meet people's immediate needs. Working through the Humanitarian Response Plan, 8 organizations have also so far assisted more than 730,000 men, women, and children across the country. That's this year alone. While this is a good start, it represents just 19% of the 3.8 million people we are targeting to assist. Nearly halfway into the year, the $935 million humanitarian response plan for 2024 is only 17% funded at about $157 million.
The spokesperson for the UN chief made the call this Friday, June 28, 2024. It should be noted that armed groups in the country has for several years now prevented humanitarian access in many localities across the country. Moreover, the Sahel regions has been grappling with drought-related issues.
We have come to the end of this newscast, but before we go, a recap of our headlines. 5 persons have lost their lives and 12 injured as a result of a road accident at the Maitu Hill, Limbe, involving a truck transporting cement from Douala to Limbe. Plus, the annual steering committee meeting of the Program for Sustainable Management and Natural Resources Phase 5 of the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife has taken place over the weekend in Limbe. We have come to the end of this newscast. Join us again this Tuesday as we give you details in and around the world while you stay tuned to High Television.